Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the X-Fly 1603 from RC Moment. The reason why we're here at the desk is there's a few things while I was flying that I didn't get a chance to cover, and that's primarily because the flight times are so short. Flight times come in a little bit under 2 minutes, and I also found that yaw control on this was not good. So if you're looking at this as a stable, good replacement for your hoop, this is not it. This is more of a low-cost introduction to a young person or someone who isn't really concerned about getting into hobby-grade stuff right away. One of the things I'm looking for is I have an uncle with Parkinson's, and he recently came up for a wedding that we had. A niece of mine got married, and I oddly enough found out that he was into drones, and that kind of surprised me because he has pretty severe tremors with his Parkinson's. And RC Moment some time ago had reached out to me, but I really wasn't interested in any of their products. But this one came up, and I thought it's good and small, it's going to be really safe, and it had the altitude hold, so I was hopeful that maybe he could use the altitude hold and get the height down, and then maybe use both hands to stabilize himself to actually just kind of fly it around in a circle. You know, something fun for him to do. Unfortunately, you know, I'll give you some information so you don't have to watch the rest of the video if you want. Of this size of machine with these sort of flight characteristics or properties, this one isn't very good. RC Moment's probably not going to be very happy with me if they ever see this, but that's just the way it is. The yaw on this, whenever you do yaw, you lose quite a bit of altitude, and it kind of negates the purpose in having altitude hold. The flight times, as I said, were really short. There's no way of turning the camera and the Wi-Fi module on or off. It performs okay as long as you don't use yaw. I'll leave it at that. If you do want to check this out for any reason, maybe you like the frame is fairly rigid for this size. I'm unaware of a flight controller that we can fit hobby grade down in there so we can do our own thing with this. You can see with the props, they could have used an extra mil or two on the props itself. They have some fairly fat paddles on there, and they have some pretty good pitch to them. But I just don't suspect it's either the motors or the props. Something's relatively inefficient to keep those flight times so low. The weight on this is really relatively low, and we could put a bigger battery in there with cutting out this front cage, but I really just don't think it's worth any extra work. I'd actually kind of hope that I could put a hobby grade, you know, all-in-one camera and video transmitter on here, and I could try that out for us. But my intent was to try to get something to find for my uncle, and this was really inexpensive, and RC Moment offered to send me one. So, but unfortunately, I'm not going to send it to it. It just doesn't fly very well. I think there are better options on the market. I wouldn't suggest this one for anyone. With that, let's get to the flight footage. See, we're still under construction here. I probably got a bit of an echo because we really haven't decorated. But let's take this little guy for a little flight. I'm going to use this white wall out here. I think it's going to be good for you to be able to see the line of sight. I do have the black TV that's in the way, but hopefully that won't bother us too much. We've got one key return and headless mode on this side. I won't be featuring that inside. Some more buttons. These are our trim buttons. We do flips and rolls by pressing this down and then giving it direction. And this changes our rates, pressing these down. And this is our takeoff and landing. We do have spring-loaded throttle stick, the left stick here. And that will mean to bring it down, we have to press it down. It won't come down on its own. We have to press down, we have to press up to get it to go up and down. So let's start. In this particular flight, we're just going to do the line of sight here so you can see it real well. You can see we've got a 200 milliamp battery in there and our little Wi-Fi antenna. Plug this in, we'll get going. See, we've got our flashing lights. Turn the remote on. Bound. This button to take off. Let's try it. So it's coming back to me kind of heavy. I'm going to trim it out a bit. That's not bad. It's trimming. You can hear kind of the motors lock into place. You can get a little idea how stable it is. It's slowly sinking down. Now it's drifting to the right, but not bad. Okay, let's see what mode we're in first. I'm going to press the left-hand button. So that's 2 beeps. We should be in the second mode. Check the roll. Not bad. Pitch. Yeah, it kind of gets spun up there. Watch it as it goes faster. It does stabilize a bit, but okay, let's press our 3. We got 3 rates. Whoa, that one's real aggressive, isn't it? I'll bring it down just a bit. I'll show you some one-handed flying with that altitude hold. It's not very good flying, but you can see it's gathering some height. Okay, and let's go to the lowest rate. I gotta bring that down a bit. So the single beep, our lowest rate. And our yaw. I don't think I did yaw in the highest rate. Let's switch back to that. Oh, it's pulling again to that left. Now it went down for some reason. There we go. Now it's stabilized again. Okay, now let's do the yaw. Not enough throttle authority. Whoa, now it's going. Look at that. And that's it. So we didn't even make it all the way through showing you all the phases, but I'll charge the battery again, and then we'll just do some flying right here against this wall. Got on the ground. We're gonna find her up. Let's take off. Let's get right to flying. So early, you know, it starts off pretty dang stable, really. Of course, we're inside. Let's get right into a flip. Let's bring it up just a touch. Well, that's too much. Well, it keeps gaining on me. That's one flip. Don't know what happened there. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I hit the land button. Okay. Another flip. Loses some height on that flip. I keep hitting this button. I wanted this to be the flip button. And backwards. Alright. Bring it up a little bit. I am in the lowest rate here. It's wanting to drift into the wall. Let's trim that out a little bit. Okay, now I'm in the second rate. It's losing quite a bit of altitude when I do full pitch, and then it recovers. See how it loses that altitude? I keep having to push up. Then it recovers. I think it's going to fly best if you just keep the nose away. Doesn't seem to lose nearly as much altitude when you do. When I start turning it with the yaw, it doesn't seem to have, well, there we got some loss. When you start to use the yaw, it starts to lose altitude. More of a stocking stuffer sort of birthday present for a young person that you might want to get involved in flying or starting to tinker. The frame, I think, is pretty rigid. It's rigid than more rigid than a lot of frames in this same sort of category. And there's our LVC already. Let's see how long it'll fly like that. Let me hold it in the other hand. See how long our LVC is. bring it up and closer to me here. I can't. Okay, it won't. I'm not actually doing. Now I have to bring it away from the wall. Boy, that's a long LVC, but it won't let me go up. Norway power up the motors. Okay, let's charge it up one more time. We'll get the mount for the camera. You can see our antenna sticking out here. So we'll put that mount right down in here. You put your cell phone right up in here. You turn the machine on. You connect to the Wi-Fi to the machine. You launch the app, and then we'll get into that. We'll actually try to fly it. I think what I'm going to do is try to fly it maybe into that other room and see if I can get sort of range. I've tested small quads like this before and found the range to be really, really short, to where we probably couldn't even get all the way to the other corner over there. So we'll try to test it into that other room and see if I can manage to actually fly it. I haven't seen what its field of view is, how wide that field of view is. That would be vertically and horizontally. And that will kind of determine how well I can fly it, how much space I can see into that other room. So, good challenge coming up. Well, I'm going to charge the battery up again. We'll give it another go. Okay, you can see right over there, that little guy right down there. We've got the the X-Fly 1603. And I've got the app and I'm Wi-Fi connected. Let's go ahead and hit play, make sure we're getting a picture. So you get a little bit of idea of a picture. I'm going to go ahead and take a photo. Nothing glamorous to see there. Well, that's video actually, sorry. But you see it took it a moment to kick on, but it's recording. And turn that off, take the photo. No sound, no nothing. If it took the picture, I'll put that on screen. Probably got some wavy lines on here. But let's bind up the receiver. And let's start the video recording. And let's take off. And I'm going to actually try to fly from the screen. So this could be short-lived. So you can see the field of view. I'm cheating a little bit. I got to look at it, get some drift out of it. It's coming down, it's coming down. It's not holding its height very well this time. So there's our doorway. Super slowly coming down. I'm easing in there. Picture on the phone looks pretty good. More height. Oh, bumped something. Field of view looks to be pretty narrow. I fly through here all the time with quite a bit of speed, and there's also a delay that I'm having to cope with between, you can see when my fingers are moving versus when the vehicle flies. Oh, we spun around now. There's our doorway. It's not holding its altitude well at all. Okay, gonna try to ease through there. This is really, oh, we bounced off the ground for some reason. Well, that looks to be it. And as you can see on screen, we have the video recording, and that flight lasted less than 1 minute and 40 seconds because we're just now taking over. So flight times are going to be very, very short, and charge time thankfully is very, very short. It's also only about 20-25 minutes for a charge. Also, it does come with an extra set of props and a USB based charger. Something else to note, this is not there's no tension here. You have to unscrew this in order to get it up and out to secure your phone. And this has several angles you can use on the remote. Let's go get it. As you can see from that example, flying these with Wi-Fi is very difficult. I've flown a lot. You can look at my channel and you can see the flying that I've done in the past. and I've flown in the house with much larger and faster quads than this, and I didn't struggle nearly like I did with that. There's just that delay. You could probably get used to it over time. Like let's watch this real quick. Doesn't seem like much, but when you're flying, that delay is actually pretty severe. So if you're flying this and you're looking to do it for FPV, I would use the FPV feed more as just seeing what the copter sees, not necessarily flying by it. That is the X-Fly 1603. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the section down below. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.